Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. We are,
Emanuela Messina,
and I'm Michelle Mupo.
and we're brought to you by Mupo TV.
And you could catch this show and many others at www.mupotv.com. And if you want to know more about our company, or maybe you're even looking for a career in the industry, or to learn about the industry, just go to mupoentertainment.com. And I have to say, on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, if you watch Mupo and Friends, you will hear some information from these celebrities that they have never even spoke about before to anyone else. They do it right here first on Mupo and Friends.
That's true. They share it here exclusively. And we just want to say thank you for tuning into our show, where we love to bring you guys celebrities you want to know about and entrepreneurs.
And by the way, did I tell you that we have, did I say that we have an app on Android and iOS?
That is so true. And if you guys have not downloaded the app yet, please make sure you go and do that.
And you could also watch us on Roku, Fire Stick, Vimeo, and YouTube.
And we are growing really quickly, guys. So want more information, go to www.mupoentertainment.com, and please make sure to download our app, the Mupo Entertainment app, on Android, iOS, Roku, Fire Stick, and Vimeo. So Michelle, did you have a Mupo awesome week?
I always have a Mupo awesome week. Yeah, I'm truly blessed. How about you?
Same. It was a really, really good week here.
Awesome. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with our special guest.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mupo and Friends. Our special guest is corporate success trainer, international motivational speaker, radio, television host, author of 4 educational books, and CEO of Inspire and Motivate LLC. I am a Master of Arts degree in educational psychology and counseling. She is a success trainer and coach, certified Jack Canfield success principles trainer, and practitioner on overcoming limiting beliefs. She has over 10 years of experience in the medical sales and customer service industry and over 15 years of experience in counseling and program development in a mental health field. She has dedicated the past 30 years to educating, training, inspiring, and motivating others to improve their lives. Please welcome Terry J. Walker. Hello, Terry. How are you?
Welcome, Terry J. Walker.
Hey. I'm so excited to be here. I'm doing fantastic. And I am so grateful to be here with you, Michelle Mupo Fuchsia, and also with you, Em. I'm telling you, Emanuela, you are rocking it out. Both of you are. And I am so grateful to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. So tell us what Bridging the Gap actually is and why you're trying to bridge that gap.
Wow, it is actually Bridging the Gap is actually a course designed for parents and early child educators and guardians to help bring about and bridge the gap for the emotional and social well-being of our kids. And today, with the pandemic and all the change and confusion and depression is on the rise, anxiety is on the rise. And there is nothing out there like this. And it's an actual 6-hour course where we're bringing people together and providing this course to help others to be able to bridge the gap and help our children to grow and to thrive. So I'm very excited about it.
And what are the 3 or 4 primary topics you cover in Bridging the Gap course?
Oh, thanks for asking, Em. I will tell you, there's a lot within these courses, and there are 3 master classes that equal up to this entire course, and they are entitled "You Are Not Alone," "Making the Shift," and "Empowering You and Your Kids." And underneath each one of those classes are actually information. One is maybe on bullying. We're going to talk about bullying, the aspects of bullying, and also abuse, because I've worked in the mental health field dealing with families who have had kids who have been abused physically, emotionally, even sexually, and also all of the bullying that's going on as well. And then we're going to talk about the importance of role modeling and how we can improve what we're doing, because, kids learn by watching. And so we're going to talk about how we can improve ourselves and what we're role modeling, what we're thinking, saying, and doing, and help our kids to do better as well. Along with, we're going to dive into what's called the emotional guidance system. So many of us have gotten away from our emotional, our heart, our intuition, our essence. And we've moved so far away from a lot of that, and we're going to come back to it. We're going to find out the importance of it so we can learn to listen more and understand our feelings more. And then lastly, one of the other topics we're going to do is called promoting positive self-esteem. And in that, we're going to talk about habits and accountability, but the importance of self-esteem. That's something that a lot of us, we're on a roller coaster with that. And we need to learn to nurture our self-esteem and our self-confidence and go back away from our fear and limiting beliefs, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. So this course has got a lot of things in it. That's just touching the surface, but I'm so glad that you asked that.
Wow. And what kind of feedback have you actually received, from the course training?
Fantastic feedback. One of the main people who are over the Board of Regents, which oversees our universities, even said, "I know with your background in working with kids who have been in trouble and things like that," which I have done, and I've promoted and worked in inpatient facilities. But she was even saying, this is something to really take into consideration as far as having something to help bridge the gap for all of these kids that have kind of fallen through the cracks and things like that. But even now with the pandemic, many kids have fallen through the cracks, and we've all been through so much change and confusion. And as adults, how have we handled it? Because we didn't know how to maybe handle it. How do we expect our children to? And this is a major thing that we definitely need to take into consideration. I've also had some early child educators who have used some of the emotional guidance system, and they've had actually working with their kids and things like that. And this is like preschool, daycares, all of these people are working in bridging the gap, but they have actually worked with the kids in there, because you spend so much time with your children during those hours while the parents are at work. And they have actually seen the parents coming back and going, "My child is talking about their feelings. What's going on here?" And they're seeing changes with all of this. So I've gotten some great feedback from this.
That's amazing. And why do you feel that now is the time for bridging the gap?
Again, with all of the change and the stress and confusion that we've been through, especially over the last 2 or 3 years with this pandemic, now is more needed than ever, because we know anxiety, depression, addiction, suicidal ideations are on the rise, and people aren't understanding how to help, how to maneuver and work through that. And we may need to look at mental health help with some counseling and things like that. But I am a true believer in an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so with that being said, the one thing that I definitely want to do is say that now is the most important time, because these children are growing up. And what are they doing? How are they handling their depression? How are they handling their anxiety? How are they handling their emotions, their feelings? And how are we working through this? Also, how are we dealing with our self-esteem? Are we helping to promote positive self-esteem, or are we just going along and having those limiting beliefs and fear of failures that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't do this? So now is the most important time to be looking into how we can bridge that gap.
We're going to take a commercial break and we're going to be right back.
Back with Terry J. Walker. Now, Terry, what is the emotional guidance system that you have as one of the modules in your course?
That is actually how we learn to get back to understanding our feelings. And even today, with all the technology and things moving so fast around us, we can't keep up. And with that being said, we do a lot of social media. We do a lot of things that we just kind of go down. And I like to use this acronym, this understanding of, we're going down social media and we're clicking a like or a love or an angry face, or maybe sending some prayers, and we keep going through and scrolling down our wall. This is actually taking us on a roller coaster, if you will, and we're not getting in touch with our feelings and how our body is possibly processing those feelings. And so we're holding a lot of this in, and we're not understanding why we are becoming more stressed, more anxious, having anger outbursts, those types of things. So these are just some things, like even with the emotional guidance system, of helping us to get back in tune, actually identify the feeling, actually understand what's causing the feeling, and then be able to move forward. And you mentioned earlier, I was a Jack Canfield success trainer. And by that, one of the things that he talks about is E plus R equals O. And I have this in the Bridging the Gap course, especially. But E plus R equals O, event plus response equals the outcome. So with the event, whatever the event may be, your response to it is going to equate to what the outcome is. And we delve into a lot of that as well, and understanding our emotions. So it's pretty intense, and we've got a lot to provide in this actual course.
And you have extensive experience and background in mental health. Does your course discuss anxiety and stress?
Yes, absolutely it does. And especially now with all that is going on, we talk about the signs and symptoms of anxiety, stress, even depression, and some things that we can do about it. I even have some things implemented in the course on how to do stress busters, if you will, and some breathing techniques and other things that we can do to help manage our stress more effectively. Stress is actually an emotion and a feeling that we really don't even understand that we have, but it helps us even with the fight or flight symptoms that we have, and of course fear and things like that. But we need to learn, and stress is good for us, and it can help us to get that project done. It can help us to study harder for that test, or to make that winning shot. But we need to learn to manage it, because if we don't manage our stress and it becomes chronic, we move from a feeling of dis-ease into a disease state, which can lead to cardiovascular disease. And we're finding our kids are, having now cardiovascular disease, even actually diabetes, overeating, and things like that, gastrointestinal issues. So with this, we talk pretty extensively about the signs and symptoms and what it can lead to if we don't learn to manage it more effectively.
And you wrote a book called The Resume of Life, which is very good. It's becoming consciously aware of your spirit, mind, and body. Tell us how you came up with it.
as anybody, we all have a journey on this life, and we all have experiences. And what happened was I actually went through a fair amount of loss, and I had been feeling internally that there was more to life than just paying the bills and paying your taxes and then you die. I mean, just working and working and working. And so I actually went inward and started trying to understand why I was where I was at the time and understand where I needed to go from here. And I began to realize that the resume, which so many of us focus on for a physical resume, for job hunting and all of the things that we do to do better or improve our lives, whether it's education or moving up in a job and trying to grow up the career ladder, that we need to understand too, that we have a resume of life and be able to try to put those pieces together and understand, because I believe that everything begins from within. And when we understand what's going on within us and the experiences that we've had, then we begin to understand more about what we want to do in our work life or our professional life, if you will. And then in turn, that helps us to grow in that profession. So everything begins from within, and that's where the resume of life came from.
And it is a great book, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback of how it's helped people as they have grown and tried to understand or gain an awareness of their own resume of life, if you will.
And so did you have a bearing on what you're doing with your training and your new show?
My new show, I think when we are willing to be more open and allow and work on our own internal self, then doors begin to open and we meet new people, and new people begin to come into our life, and we reflect that out into the world. And so my new show is the I Am Power Hour, and I'm so excited about it. I actually did it as a podcast a few years back on Transformation Talk Radio, but now we're bringing it on out through courtesy of Mupo Entertainment. And I am so excited about the I Am Power Hour. And yes, all my experiences and background, and then all of the stress and anxiety and change that we've been through over the last few years. Again, I'm working to find people who have the stories, and the tagline is the courage to rise and thrive, and to help connect people, again, even like bridging the gap, to help connect people to say, if they can do that, well, maybe I can try it, or I need to get in touch with this person because maybe they can help me. So that's what the I Am Power Hour is about. We're going to talk about, we're doing interviews, we're doing a lot of fantastic things, and in the process, I'm growing as well. So I am so excited about this show, and it's going to be coming out and launching again through courtesy of Mupo Entertainment in July 2022. So we're coming.
We're very excited about that.
So excited. Very. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back.
Back with the amazing Terry J. Walker. So first, I love your accent. Terry J. Walker. I could just say that with an accent. I love it. Now, you're actually now expanding your audience reach, right? With obviously television called the I Am Power Hour, which we talked about earlier before the commercial break, and a tagline, courage to rise and thrive. What gave you the idea to focus on others who have the courage to rise and thrive? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think that many times and everything is kind of coming together, the resume of life, bridging the gap course, and now the I Am Power Hour, but everything's coming together because I want to help others to have the courage to rise and thrive. Are we just going to work, doing our thing, and just surviving through life? Or are we finding our truth, our inner essence, our passion, and beginning to have the courage to come out of the ashes and to rise and thrive and to make this journey worthwhile? I do a lot of corporate trainings on stress reduction, on bullying and awareness, harassment in the workplace, all of those types of things. But we are so far down into the weeds in a lot of ways in our life, and we're just going through the motions. We're just moving through the regular motions. But there are people out there who have had the courage to rise and thrive. I'm one of them, and I've been knocked down a lot. I mean, I've been through, bullying and harassment myself. I've been through trying to climb the corporate ladder, if you will. I've been through a great deal, and now I've been through a great deal of grief and loss, even in the last year. And so, how do we keep going? What's the point, if you will? And so, I am working on trying to have the courage to rise and thrive myself. And in turn, I'm learning, but I want to help others to do the same. And I end a lot of my trainings with this. In the words of Mother Teresa, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many positive ripple effects. And if I can do that by bringing these stories together, bringing these people who are helping with health issues holistically, being able to work on our essence and move through those limiting beliefs, dealing with people who are having animals and working with animals that help us to remain in the power of now and help us to help get that platform out there to be able for other people to be able to see this and maybe connect with these people and say, I want to meet them, because we can all meet together and we can work together for bridging the gap, even to help us to have the courage to come up out of those ashes, to work on ourselves more effectively and efficiently and positively. And in turn, we role model that out into the world, and we cast that stone to create many more positive ripple effects.
Wow. That was so good. So tell me, what kind of stories will they hear or what we'll see on the I Am Power Hour?
Well, we're going to hear about some people who are doing some really wonderful holistic things in the workforce, and they followed their passion and they are expanding and growing. We're going to talk about various things such as oils and these people, some of them are doctors that are actually bringing together the importance of nutrition and what they're doing to help, and maybe even helping their kids to rise and thrive. But also, we're going to be dealing with some things internally and helping us to grow throughout that. And this last weekend, I my season finale, and I'm so excited about this too. But this last weekend, went on a retreat and did some breakthrough coaching and came through, and actually we had a fire walk and a breaking of the board and understanding how our energy and how we can utilize our energy more effectively to, again, grow within ourselves. And in turn, we help others to do the same. So you're going to see some amazing things. I realized even after this weekend when we did this, that there is no telling where this show is going to go. And I am a true believer in this as well. I'm going to throw it out there, and it's a song, and it's just some lyrics from a song, and I'm just going to say it. Everyone, there's a spotlight waiting just for you. Everyone has a song to sing and a story to tell. So on the I Am Power Hour, could you be the next one.
I love it. And by the way, I know we spoke about your book and everything, and you do talk about bullying and everything. So please buy that book. There's an audio too. I've read it and I've listened to the audio. It's excellent. And I want to know, have you ever had any fears or challenges, in doing the show that you're doing?
Oh my gosh. I'm a limiting beliefs practitioner and I help to clear limiting beliefs, but I have my own, and we all do. And it's a process. Everyone has to keep working on it. But yeah, I've had my limiting beliefs, and I've had to, cross a few obstacles that have happened, and some fear of it. But I just believe that this is what needs to happen now, and bring this out in the marketplace, in the area where
Amen.
people can actually connect with this. And so, yes, we all have fears, but are we taking the opportunity to allow ourselves to work through those fears, or are we just continuing to survive on a daily basis? And, there's a couple of acronyms for fear that I use a lot. I'm just going to throw it out here, and maybe your audience has heard it and maybe they have not. But one of the acronyms for fear is false evidence appearing real. And I am a true advocate of LNT, learn new things. So many of us live in that false evidence appearing real, and we don't take the time to have the willingness to learn new things. And you've heard of the old 80-20 rule, 80% perception and 20% reality. But what if we were willing to flip that over on its head and say 80% reality and 20% perception? And instead of false evidence appearing real, we turn this into face everything and rise. So that is my acronym for fear. In turn, the courage to rise and thrive on the I Am Power Hour.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you who do have a dream and you want to follow it, and if it scares you, just know if it scares you, it's the right dream, because God needs to put you out of your realm to push you to the next step. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with our special guest.
Very good.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to.
Please do.
When you say that, you have to say it now.
No. I'll do it later. Let's just get this over with, and then we'll okay, go.
And we are back with Terry J. Walker. Now, if you could go back in time and ask your younger self anything, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Why didn't you do this sooner? That would probably be it. We all have those things that we wish we had done, and there are plenty of roads up, leading up the mountain, and we get knocked down throughout this journey, and we have choices that we can make. And I don't know that there's any right or wrong choices, because they all lead up the mountain. And I read a meme one time. There's a lot of roads leading up the mountain, and the only one wasting time is the one running around the mountain telling everybody else that their road is wrong. And so, I think that if I could tell myself something different, it would be to start listening to your intuitive guidance more readily and effectively, something I lost a long time ago out there in the world, if you will. And go back and say you need to have better trust and more trust within yourself. And that's something I lost a long time ago. And now, I'm regaining that, but it's taken its toll. And, we're continuing to have the courage to rise and thrive. And that's what I would do.
Well, you're definitely on that yellow brick road. So you definitely are. So what other projects do you have lined up? And are you, what's on your wish list?
Ooh. Well, my projects right now are getting the I Am Power Hour completed, launched, and ready to roll. And also talking with more people about bridging the gap and the course for parents and educators. And so those are predominantly my projects right now. I'm probably going to go back myself, and my bio keeps getting longer, but I believe that we need to continue to work on ourselves. And I'm going to probably go back and take some more intensive courses for me in turn to help me to grow, and in turn cast that stone and hopefully help others to do the same.
Well, that's just awesome. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the conclusion of our interview with Terry J. Walker.
Back with Terry J. Walker. And before we wrap things up, we have one last question. If you are to interview yourself, what question would you ask, and what would the answer be?
Oh, well. I don't know. I'm a pretty open book. And so, and that's what I try to do, because I just really don't know what that question would be, except where do you go from here? What are you going to do from here? And I'm continuing to try to look down that road. And I guess it would be, I want to continue to help others to have the courage to rise and thrive. And I want to continue to allow the I Am Power Hour to take me where it will, and stop trying to control anything, and just allow myself to be more open to grow with the I Am Power Hour, and also with bridging the gap, and continue to meet people along the way and help them, and allow them to help me.
Beautiful. It's been such a pleasure visiting with you today. You can follow, like, subscribe to Terry J. Walker at www.iamterryjwalker.com, www.bridgingthegaptraining.com. You can also find her on Facebook and inspire and motivate.iamterryjwalker. Also on LinkedIn under Terry J. Walker.
And as always, thank you for tuning into Mupo and Friends, courtesy of Mupo TV. And you could catch this show and many others at www.mupotv.com. That's www.mupotv.com. And you can also catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, YouTube, Facebook, every social media, Instagram, every social media there is. And make sure you download our app on Android and iOS.
And this is Emanuela Messina with our host, Michelle Mupo. And until next time,
have a Mupo awesome week.